Hi guys, Mofo here, back with some more awesome Robocraft fun, and yes, we're still having a look at some of the maximum loadout stuff, and in this episode we're going to be having a look at some of the weapon improvements, or so-called weapon improvements. Some of them I'm really down with, others I'm not too sure about. So let's have a look in the bay, and here I am in Bay 1 with my Crow vs Giants, and this is my lovely little a plasma bomber. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. Now, one thing that quite upset me this morning was I took this out into battle, and there was a couple of things I didn't realise, but let's just get him into practice. Okay, so I took this chap out into battle, and one of the things I've got to say, although this is on the weapon improvements, I really am enjoying how the aerofoils have been buffed, and this thing is flying. I think since the Unity 5 upgrade, I think aerofoils had received a slight buff, and this thing was flying a lot faster and seem to be performing really well. And I do quite enjoy the extra connection points that we've got on the wings now. But one of the things that I found a little frustrating was this. Now, I'm pretty sure that it said in the description that if you fired all of the shots, you would get a volley still. And that, to me, does not signify a volley. And I'm just going to land this, and then we're going to duck out and have a look. Let's just land. Come on, sir. Just land gracefully, all. Land and do a little reverse. There we go. Oh, landing gear. Lovely stuff. So you can see there, I'm on a full thing here. And if I just hold down, that's not really doing a volley. And it's not really any different to me just tap firing with it, really. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the notes. So here we have the plasma launcher. Let's check this out. The plasma launcher now fires its projectiles separately in a round-robin fashion. You can pulse the trigger to fire one projectile at a time, or hold the trigger to unleash all your power bar projectiles in a single clustered volley. Now this is the problem I have with it, is the hold the trigger to unleash all your power bar projectiles in a single clustered volley. That does not seem to be the case. And I didn't have any problem while I was in battle with this. I was just kind of disappointed that I couldn't fire the volley. And then I realised a little bit later on, I've got the option of two weapon sets. I've obviously got two types of a plasma here. And one of the things that kind of irks me is the fact that we have these separate weapon classes. For essentially the same weapon class. So I'm just going to switch onto 2. Now that's much more like it. That is much closer to the volley I was expecting, and you can kind of see more clearly there. That's getting them off in a more similar effect. So it's still not what I would call a volley. It's more of a sustained attack. But it's certainly better than, if I switch the weapons back, than this kind of pulse, because here I'm just holding the trigger down, and that's just a steady pulse. If anything, I found this made the plasma really easy to play with, and that kind of, it took away the satisfaction of dumping a load of plasma at a target and dealing devastating damage if you hit, and then of course if you miss you've got to wait for it to build back up. This kind of cycling through, just pulsing these, it seemed to make everything far too easy, and we seem to have lost the arc as well. Now I'm just going to pull up here. Oops, I probably should have done this with the ground vehicle. It'd be quite easier to do, but here we go. You can just see, there we go, we've just got invisible range. I've glided too far. I'm going to have to reverse. Let's land. I'm going to pull back a bit. So we've got this target over there, and I'm just going to get it on the range of visible. Okay, now there's the reticule in the center. That's still hitting the bottom of the target. And in fact, I only need to aim about there to get it in the center of the target. Really, this whole kind of guide, the elevation guide for the arcing shots, is now totally redundant, because I think for these things to arc, you'd be firing well past the visible range, and of course none of the projectiles land past the visible range anymore. So the arc has gone, and again, that just seems to be a thing that's dumbed down the weapon a little bit. It's not a real problem for me, it's made the weapon actually much easier to use, but it's taken away a little bit of the skill from the weapon. Also, you can notice, I believe most of the weapons now, the weapons will turn around to fire a lot faster than they used to, which is quite nice, apart from the rail. The rail to me seemed very sluggish. So this kind of weapon doing this, it doesn't really do it for me. If I switch up to this, that's a lot nicer. But to get something really nice, I'd probably have to switch up to something like this. This is my snub, and this is just flying like a treat. I really am enjoying how this flies now. This is so nice. And of course, that's a far more satisfying. That's kind of what I imagined it would be like. That to me is more like unleashing a volley. Now, that means that all of my kind of T10 plasma bombers are fine. I can kind of live with this, wait for it to build up, unleash, and then fly away. And I'm not so confused then by having the kind of pulse kind of effect. I can still, of course, choose to just fire the odd one or two. But what's really satisfying is that you can wait till it builds up and then dump a full load. But just check out as we come into range. Really no arcing on it at all. At least within the visible range. And of course the visible range is what matters. They all pretty much got on target. It only needs to be slightly higher. So that reticule there with the horizon guide that's for coping with an arc, and you really don't need that anymore. It's very, very strange. I found myself aiming far too high on a lot of targets, and so I'm going to have to get used to how I lead with the plasma again, and not having to take the arc into account quite so much. So T10 plasma, still very satisfying to use. The one thing that does surprise me somewhat, let's just exit from this. If I press Q and have a look at the hardware, on here, if we have a look at this, what's this called? I wish they just had the numbers on them. The Pulsar, Disruptor, Bombarder, Ravager, Devastator, Megaplasma. These names mean nothing to me. It could be called Legume and Frutabago. It doesn't really mean anything to me. It's all very odd. Let's see. So this is the first one. Your smallest plasma, the Plasma Pulsar. Apparently this has a single gunfire rate of 0.51 per second and a normal fire rate of 8.33 per second. Okay, but so do all of them. They all have the same gunfire rate and nominal fire rate until we get to the Mega Plasma, and then it's different. So, is this a bug, or rather a GUI error that they haven't put the correct information in? Because clearly, I'm not sure what the weapons are. But if we go back to Crow vs Giants, we can see we've got two weapon types here. I'm not sure which ones these are, but they clearly had different fire rates. But this is not reflected in the stats on the GUI, which is really rather odd. I think the easiest way to do it is to let's just find an empty bay. I think what we're going to do is I just build. Stick symmetry on. Okay, so have I got any of the Plasma Pulsar? I haven't. Let's buy a few Plasma Pulsars. Okay, so I should be able to put 6 of each on here now, if I've got the CPU available. Right, and here we go. Here we've got the press Z to bring up this dialogue. Okay, let's pop you in there. Now, what's really interesting is if I press Z, nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. I'm hammering, can you hear me? That's me hammering the Z key. This is because actually, although it tells you that, what you might want to do is to come into controls. If Z isn't working for you, I spotted this in the last video, but I couldn't find where the actual thing was in the dialogue. But here we go. Manage a loadout. Click on here, press Z, and now it's no longer a lie. Okay, so now if I press Z, there we go, it brings that up. Good stuff. Okay, so... Ooh. Right, well 5 will do. 5 will do of that. And then I'm just going to build this up and out. I'm probably going to have this a little bit longer. And we're going to go to the next one. This is the Plasma Disruptor. I'm going to put you on 2. Okay, so that's 5 of those. And let's just get this back here. Probably about there. So we've had the Pulsar, we've had the Disruptor. Now we're on the Bombarder. Awesome. I'll go in 3 for that. Oh, what a good guess. What a good guess. And for this one, I'm just going to come... Oopsie. Don't want you there, sir. I imagine we're going to have to come out a little bit further again. Now, that was the Bombarder. Now we want the Ravager. Gosh, that sounds terrifying. And this will go in the 4th slot. And we're not going to get our T10 ones on, whatever they're called. But we've seen how fast they pulse. Because we can only have... Oh no, we can. We can. We can. We might not have the CPU. How are we doing for CPU? Oh, we've got plenty of CPU. Not an issue. Not an issue at all. Although we may be getting into the realms of this craft falling over, so... Might have to take the thing back a fair bit. Okay, so this is the Devastator. Oh gosh, wouldn't you know it? Let's pop that into 5. We're actually going to get 6 of those on there. Okay, so we've got all of the tiers of the weapons there. And, I mean, I don't see why they should go into different loadouts for just different classes. I can't see myself building a craft and thinking, I know, I'll only fire these ones, and then these ones, and then these ones, and having to switch to it. The reason I might have a high tier one and then a low tier one is more that I haven't got the space for it to fit on my craft. And so I've just thrown maybe a couple of small ones in, so I've still got some weapons somewhere. Okay, we've still got plenty of CPU, so let's take this reet far back and add some more wheels. Okay, and let's just speed things up with a couple of jets and some steering. Okay, so here we are, and in my splendid craft. So, we're on number 1, these are the lowest. Now that's really strange. On this craft, they seem to be firing. Maybe it was the amount I had? Maybe once you've got 5 or more, it seems to pulse a little bit faster. Who knows? Let's try 2. Just wait for it to get to full power. Okay, they seem fine. They seem fine. Let's try 4. They seem fine. And of course we'll have no problem with these guys. Yeah, so that's a really, really odd thing. So maybe if you've got a full set of at least maybe 4 or 5 of them. I think they had 4 of each. Maybe I only had 3 on for 1. Let's see, where are we now? We're on 4. 2. 1. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a problem. I think it was just how many of the plasmas were on there that was causing it that effect, that it didn't feel like it was giving that sustained volley. That's not too bad at all. Let's see. And this reminds me, I don't know if you noticed, but in the next beta this, I've built this little chap here. Now, this was just something I'd noticed with the wheels. I'm going to leave this for now. If I don't come back to this to talk about the wheels. Remind me at some point in the comments, because it's something that I want to address at some point. I think it's a kind of a bug, or at least an issue with the wheels I found. So, let's get back onto this. So, let me see. We've got 4 of one type and 3 of the other. And I'm going to guess that it was the one that I've got 3 of that was not getting out a decent burst. Let's just jump into practice to find out. Okay, so you can tell which weapon you've got up because that weapon will turn with your view, whereas the others will remain fixed at their last used position. Yeah, so if you're using... I'm guessing 4 is fine, because I've got 4 of the other weapons, and if I switch, I get the pulse to be almost a volley. And obviously with the weapon, the higher it is up in the bar, the more they'll burst out. But if I have 3 or less, you're getting this much lower rate of fire. That's very interesting, but I still think there is a difference between each weapon's rate of fire. I don't believe that they're all the same. Unless it's just the size of the graphic that's giving the impression of them travelling at different speeds. It certainly seemed to me that the 10 was travelling much faster than the lower ones. But again, that can be, in these kind of things, that could just be the size of the graphic giving a false impression of the speed. Tricky stuff. Okay, well, that was kind of my one objection to the plasma. That when this was the first craft I took out with plasma, I thought, oh, this is awful. This is awful. This isn't a volley. Even when we wait for this to get up to the full bars, I thought that's not a proper volley. But clearly, it's just a case. See, that's much nicer. That's a nicer little dump. It's not as satisfying as it is with the T10 ones, but you can still do a nice sustained volley with that. There you go. So that was my one issue with the plasma, but it seems as long as you've got 4 or more of them, you will still get a reasonably nice kind of plasma burst with it. Now, the thing is, I'm going to have to go through all my craft and swap out these weapons. I really don't see any point in wasting a slot. 0 point in wasting a slot there. Which the Bombarder or the Ravager, which is the high, I can't remember. So I'm just going to go OK. I'm going to click on you, and we're going to get rid of those 2 and this one. Now this is going to cause me a problem because I'm not going to be able to fit all of these on my craft. But I don't think it'll be that much of an issue. There we go, we've got 1 on there. We need to make sure it's the correct colour. That's lovely. So that's 5. We can't bring that in any closer. Oops. What I actually want to do is select you. And I want to have you... Okay, so I've got none of those cubes left. So this is the Ravager. I'm going to need to buy another 2 of those. So these are, I believe, T8s or T9s. Okay, and where were we at? We're at about 17k. I can place you there. That now takes us to 20k. Okay, and what I'm going to want to do... Luckily, I've got plenty of CPU left on here. I might just take that to there. And probably want that there. And so, why not increase that just a little bit? That's quite nice. Take that off there. No, it's... Ooh. Ooh, that looks shiny. I want more of those. I wouldn't mind another couple of those. That looks really nice. Oh, yes. Now, that's just made a massive thing there. I'm at 20k. Now, I could just fill that all with vapor trails. I could. Got more vapor trails on there. I've run out. I've run out. We could probably get another one of those up there now. Oh, I've got none of them left. I've got none of them left. Gosh. Golly gosh. Let's take you and place you there. Let's take you and place you there. Just so they're not on the same parts. I could buy another 2 of those. That's really nice. That's really nice. I'm tempted to buy a blink module now. And let's see, how big are they? I have not spent any. I was hoping. Have any of you seen through my ploy? I was going to make lots and lots of videos on parts of the maximum loadout that had nothing to do with the blink module or the shield module, just so that I could try and get my RP up a little bit. But I'm quite tempted now to see. Let's have a look at special. They cost 10 million and a bit. Oh, I might as well buy them now. I'm going to have to play with them at some point. Let's buy these. Okay, let's have a quick look. So the disc shield module is fairly large. Yes, that's going to be intrusive on my design. I could probably cram it in somewhere. I could possibly... How wide is it? No, I wouldn't bury one of those in there. How big is this thing? This thing's pretty huge, but... Oh, it would fit. Oh, we could make it fit in there. We could, if we just took that out, if we could stick... What? Let's put you there. And put you there and press OK. And that looks heinous. That does not look pretty in the slightest. I don't think I'll be keeping that. But let's just test it out. Let's just have a quick look at it. Okay. Oh, still flying rather nice. That's pleasant. Now, the wingspan on this has got far too large now. I'd have to put larger wings on it and stuff. Okay, let's have a look at the blink module. What? I pressed 2. Oh, that was crazy. Oh, I nearly wet myself then. Okay, so with this... The blink module, I'm not actually clicking on it. It won't let me select it until it's powered back up. Gosh, this is exciting. Okay, if we powered back up and I press 2. Oh, what? That's insane. Oh, we're going to be having some of this in some designs. I'm going to have to redesign some builds just to cram this in there. Just to cram this in there. Oh, that is a really pleasant thing to have. That really is. That is so nice. Oh, I'm enjoying that. I really am. Let's see. Whoa! It's crazy. Oh. Yes, we're going to have some fun with this. Ah, tricky stuff. Let's see. How many does that take up? Let's just get onto something a bit less. I could... I don't know if I could fit it in there and then it's got things joining on that. No. I think we'll be getting rid of that. I don't like how long that is. We can have you there. We can have you there. And I'm just going to go back to my original design. We'll have them the other way around, I believe. I'm just going to have them separated out a little bit. And have you on there. And that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And I think it deserves... It deserves to have the extra set of vapor trails on it there. I may well do something else with this. I don't really want to add too much to it. I'm not sure I wanted this as high as 20k, so I may even bring it down. Or what I might do is use up the extra CPU to increase the wings. What are the wings that we've got on this? What are the largest wings? Wow, I really haven't got any large wings at all. So let's just have a look in here. Okay, so the wing albatross is the largest. I'll buy 4 of those. 4 of those. Oh, this is what happens when I've got falcons and hawks. Okay, so we've bought albatrosses and eagles. Okay, so let's have a look. Brutal Pick there is pestering me for a platoon. Just whisper me or something first, chaps. Before you just hassle me with platoons. Take you off my friends list. Okay, are these larger than that? Yep, they are. So this takes us now to 21k. Oh, but it's looking so pretty. I like it. I like it. I don't think I'm going to increase anything else on that. And let me see. What have we got room for? I think we've got room to possibly... That's not connected on there, is it? It's not, no. Okay, that'll just make it just a tad lighter. That's quite nice. Though I think I'd like to have this... Oh, so let's get rid of you. No, we want that one on there, and we want that one on there. There we go. Okay, that's quite splendid looking. Those are connected there. And they're on slopes. That's a shame. I could possibly have put... What's a short one? Short one is 3. I'm not sure I really want to have those connected there like that. But it could just make it. Is that sensible? No, I think that's a little bit silly because they both have jets on. I think that's enough tinkering with my Crow versus Giants. And I think this video has gone on long enough that I don't think I'll be covering any more weapons in this part. But let's just take this out. Just into a quick single player. And let's see how we're flying now. That's nice. That's the all-important thing. If I can do a loop-the-loop in a nice tight space, it's always brilliant to be able to stall and turn and just do a nice set of loops. Good stuff. Excellent. Very nice. I really am enjoying this. Oh, it's shot out my tail. He shot out my tail bits. He's taken off my vapor trails, the fiend. Oh, where did he go? He's probably got away with it. Wow, that was nearly the whole craft. There we go. Excellent stuff. Yeah, so I really don't see any problem with the plasma at the moment. I think it was just a case of if I had a bot that maybe had just 1 or 2 plasma on it, I'm not sure I'd enjoy it. I think I'd have to have at least 4, where you get that decent burst to give you the plasma feeling. Because there's nothing more satisfying than just coming along and unloading a load of plasma all over the enemy. It's what they want. There you go. You know they love it. You know they love it. Nice. I really am going to have to build myself a plane with the blink module inside it, though. That will be a build video coming very, very soon. Oh! Nice. Can we turn on him before he heals up? Oh, he's hiding under a rock. There we go. Lovely stuff. Okay, guys. Well, this is probably me for the day. I'm going to be in here. Single playering it. Destroying all of these things. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry if the video went on for a little while, but you got to see the blink module before I planned on playing with it. And of course, now I've got one, you know I'm going to be playing with that soon, but I'll be back to cover the rest of the weapons and to see how they're doing in the new maximum loadout update. I hope you're all enjoying it. Please do let me know what you think about the update. Tell me all of your thoughts. And don't forget to give this video a like. And of course, comment to say hello. Even if it's just to say, wow sir, that's a spiffing plane you've got there. I appreciate your time and effort. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Splash the plasma in the face! Bye guys. I'm going now. I really am going now. This is the end of the video. Bye-bye.